Use this Ramadan to build your dream life. The announcement of Eid has come. What have you achieved? I want to make sure you guys have some set, very clear, very powerful goals, inshallah, this Ramadan that you can achieve so that when you leave Ramadan, you are better. Ramadan is an incredible blessing, a month of discipline, a month of forgiveness, inshallah. Allah gives us this month so we can get closer to Him, we can be forgiven for our sins, that we can use this month to become the best version of ourselves. And inshallah, take that best version of ourselves into our lives after Ramadan and build the dream life we want. I converted to Islam around 4 years ago, and Ramadan has been every single Ramadan has been life-changing for me. And I want to give you the tips and tricks to make your Ramadan life-changing. Before we go into this, I really want you guys to know what is the target you're trying to hit. We all have an aim in life, we all have a goal. Obviously as Muslims, Jannah is our goal. But we have other goals as well. And I need you to be really specific about what those goals are in order to make this Ramadan the best Ramadan yet, and to build your dream life, you need to know what your goals are. And I think it's worth mentioning that 75% of behavior is habit driven. So the habits, our day-to-day habits, us living on autopilot, most of the time that you're alive, you're living in autopilot. I want to make sure that your default setting is setting you up for success. That's why Ramadan is such an incredible opportunity to get rid of bad habits. Things like lifestyle sins. You know, lifestyle sins are the worst kinds of sins because sins that we do one-off, you know, they're still sins, but they're not a big deal. Sins that are lifestyle sins that we're doing continuously are the worst kind of sins because we're doing them over and over again. And you know what? A lot of the time we're desensitized to them. We're not even really knowing the full extent of the destruction that we're doing to ourselves or to other people. And I want to make sure that you have good habits so that the 75% of your time when you're on autopilot, you've got great habits that are helping you build your dream life and becoming your dream person, and you're getting rid of those bad habits, the sins that are stacking up and just blackening the heart and just making it harder to connect to the religion, to connect to our true selves and just live the lives we want to live. So before we do this, I really would love it if you guys took some time to pray 2 rakat and to ask Allah to guide you in a way that allows you to envision your dream life. And just take some time to just breathe and envision and imagine what it is that you want to achieve in this world. But most importantly, who do you want to be? What qualities does that person have? For me, things like really important values for me are kindness, someone who's able to prioritize long-term gains over short-term, someone who's patient, someone who's calm and centered and at ease, somebody who can control their impulses, someone who's always learning, someone who can enjoy being in solitude. You know, these are really important qualities for me. And when I did this task, these were the qualities that came out of it. So take some time to imagine your dream life, to imagine the person that you really want to be, and write down that qualities list. What are the qualities of that person? This list is really important, enabling you to choose from the goals list that I'm going to give to you in a minute. What goals are best for you this Ramadan and how that can serve you in building your dream life. So once you've done that, write down all those qualities. That dream person, the person you want to be. It doesn't matter if he or she is far off who you are right now. It's achievable, inshallah. If you really want it, it's achievable. Now, what if someone told you this is your last Ramadan? Don't you want to make it your best one? It could be mine, it could be yours. Oh, sorry, that thought was really scary. But yes, that thought should be scary. And you know what? We should treat this Ramadan like it's our last Ramadan, because it could be. And I think we're never really going to know when we are at our last Ramadan. So I think it's really important to set goals and use that amazing discipline that Ramadan brings into your life to drive you to achieve those goals. I know, as somebody who converted to Islam, Ramadan is very difficult. Like, I don't care what y'all say. It's very hard. I struggled so much my first Ramadan. I tried fasting as a non-Muslim as well. I couldn't do it. I just couldn't do it. It's very difficult. It requires a lot of discipline. So firstly, I think you should give yourself a pat on the back if you're able to do it, because it's difficult. So here are some examples of some goals you can set yourself this Ramadan. And you can choose one from this list. You can choose all from this list. I'm personally going to be trying all of them. But I think it's important to choose something. And maybe the list that I'm about to give you, you don't like it and you want to choose your own. That's completely fine as well. But here are some great ideas and things that you can use as your goal this Ramadan to help build your dream life, become your dream person, inshallah. Now remember, Remember when you're listening to this list, remember your qualities list. The person you want to become, the qualities that you want to have, what goal from this list aligns with those qualities? That's what you need to decide. So first example of a goal, a very simple one, but actually maybe it's not that simple for some people. Just stay away from sin. Literally, just day by day, just stay away from sin. Not thinking about the whole month because it can be very overwhelming, but every day you wake up and you think, today, for the next 24 hours, I'm going to abstain from sin. I'm going to abstain from those horrible negative habits that are lifestyle sins that are putting holes in my bucket. You know, imagine like all your good deeds are going into this bucket, but when you're sinning, you're having all these holes in the bucket and all the good deeds are going in, all the Quran, everything is going in, but it's seeping out through the holes. So let's close those holes up, inshallah. So one that's very important, maybe you might not really apply to you, but I would say stay away from sin. Make it your goal this Ramadan to just stay away from that sin, one that you find very difficult, or just sins in general. Whether it's watching something, whether it's taking something, whether it's sins from your tongue, you know, it's very common as well. Figure out what it is that your weakness is and make it your goal for Ramadan to get rid of it. I love reading and learning about habits, and habits can be made and broken in 3 weeks. So Ramadan is around 4 weeks. So it's the perfect opportunity for you to make new habits and break those bad ones. Another example of a goal could be to do a good deed every day. Now, the Adhan app, who's one of the sponsors for this video, they actually have a section on their app for doing a good deed every day this Ramadan. It's like 30 good deeds. I would recommend the app, and I'd recommend using that to help you for inspiration for good deeds. But otherwise, I think this is actually a really good one, because a lot of us want to be people that are of service to others, that are valuable in society, that do good for society. So you know what, this good deed one is actually a really important one. So I would say make it your task to do a good deed every single day, whether it's giving to charity, which is an obvious one, making food for somebody, helping out a stranger. You know, there are many, many, many different things. And if you're stuck for ideas, then you have the Adhan by Islamic Finder app, which the link is in the description in the comment. You can download and use it to do the 30-day good deed challenge on there. If you want to be a better Muslim, if you want to be closer to Allah, your goal could be learn something new about the deen every single day. I know personally, when I'm not continuously learning, I can fall off so quickly and I can very easily become the person that I don't want to be. But when I'm constantly learning, when I'm constantly building on my knowledge, reminding myself of things, Islamic things, it allows me to just be that person I want to. So I would say learn something new about the deen every single day. Whether it's a big lecture, whether it's a tiny little thing, I would say this is actually a really important one. And I think we all could do with learning more. Otherwise, we can very quickly fall off. We can very quickly become distant from Allah. We can very quickly be following the advice of someone who perhaps doesn't have our best interest at heart, perhaps doesn't really know that much about the religion, and could be guiding you in the wrong direction. So I think it's really important to just know the religion as much as possible. And I'm a big advocate for learning Arabic. I'm a huge advocate for learning Arabic. So if you don't speak Arabic, I would strongly recommend, like, maybe you can make that your goal, just to learn a bit of Arabic every day, because I think it's so important. If you're not able to access the text, and that's the Quran, the Hadith, but also the classical texts written by the classical scholars in the language they were written in, I think it puts you at a huge disadvantage. So I would definitely say learn Arabic. Another example of a goal could be getting stronger in ibadah. Now, those acts of worship, you know, they are great at bringing us closer to God and allowing us to align with ourselves, with our values, to find more peace in our heart. So maybe that could be your goal, is to just get stronger in ibadah. So you could be doing your sunnah prayers, you can be reading Quran more, reciting. There are many different things, making dua. Maybe you want to spend more time remembering Allah. So for example, when you get in a car and you go on a journey, instead of just going on the journey, you're actually taking the time to say to Allah, you know, please bless me in this journey. Please allow this journey to be safe for me. Please look after my family, you know, things like this. Just turning to Allah more. There's a few examples of some goals you can use this Ramadan, inshallah, to build your dream life. And remember that this is only once a year. It's a huge blessing. Allah is Ar-Rahman. He's giving us a chance to be forgiven. And He's giving us a chance to become the best version of ourselves. So really, let's take this Ramadan by the horns and let's try our best, inshallah. We have so much potential, and Muslims in general are incredibly disciplined. This blessing is huge. I would also say another thing that we should be doing before Ramadan, which the Sahaba did. The Sahaba never went into Ramadan having not sought and given forgiveness to people that deserved it. So I think before you go into this Ramadan, if you're watching this video before Ramadan, I would say forgive the people in your life that you haven't forgiven yet, because that's so important. Forgiveness is so important. Holding on to those grudges is only going to hurt you. It's not going to hurt them. So please, as another thing that I'm requesting for you, is just seek that forgiveness. Yeah, and remember, it's hard, but we got this, and we're going to make it the best one, inshallah. I love you guys. Thank you for watching. Assalamu alaikum.